Disclaimer: doing my own voiceover. If you readers are uncomfortable, mute the video. YN, baby, you called him happily as he spoke to your female worker. Then he heard and turned towards you and smiled at you. Minhyuk, oh my darling, he hugged you tightly. YN, I miss you so much. Ah, it's hurt. You hissed you to his tight grip, but happily hugged him back. Minhyuk, me too. You then pulled back and hit him hard on the chest. Minhyuk, ouch, ouch, Vayani. You put it angrily and he was confused. Minhyuk, what happened, baby? Why did you hit me? He said, putting his hand on his chest. Vayan, you said you did be back after a week, but it's only been 3 days. I have not finished my work yet. He sinked. Minhyuk, I was done there, so I come back to Korea. But don't worry, we will have fun at night, baby. He winked at you. You got shy. Wyan, you Minhyuk, you hide your face in his jacket and he hugged you again. At Jimin uncle's house, after dropping you off at your studio, he came to his uncle's house who lived here with his mother and uncle Park Myung-seo after his father's death. But because of uncle abuse and his bad deeds, Jimin ran away from here, and now that he is back here after 8 years, he starts to remember all his bad times. 8 years ago at 7 p.m., Jimin was sitting on the bed polishing his bed because his neighbor said that he would play cricket in his ground. He looked so happy because it was the first time he was going out to play with someone. Because Jimin's father was very possessive about his wife and Jimin, but when these two come here, everything changed. Jimin's mother would work here all day and cook, and when Jimin's uncle Park Myung-seo would come at night, he would ask her to massage his body and talk dirty to her. She feels so disgusted every time and regrets that she would have taken Jimin somewhere else instead of coming here. Jimin, it's ready now. I have to go. He definitely waiting for me. Jimin stood up looking at his bed and walked out to his room. But he stopped on the step when he heard his mom scream. He winded his eyes when he heard his mother crying. Then he ran to his mother. Jimin stood frozen in place after seeing his uncle holding his mother's wrist and burning her hand with his cigarette. Jimin, Mom, he said in a little loud, but she heard. Jimin mom. I'm sorry, please leave my hand. She screamed and trembled as he heard her son's voice. Jimin looked up with fear in his eyes. He kept his hand close to his body, making fist to control his anger as Uncle's fear was more greater. Uncle, is this how you made food? It's terrible, he said and grabbed her hair. Then Jimin ran to his mother because it was out of his range. Jimin, let go of my mother, you bastard, he yelled at him and trying to break his hold on her. Uncle, how dare you to hold my hand, boy? His eyes shooted up with anger and straight up grabbed Jimin's head and slammed it on the table. Jimin's mother, Jimin, she called her son's name and started crying loudly. He fainted and fell on the floor and his head started bleeding. Uncle laughed. Uncle, look what he did. He got it back. And now it's your turn. You both get on my nerves, bitch. Then his uncle dragged her to his room. After 10 minutes, he regained consciousness and stood up with blood still dripping from his head. What happened in 10 minutes was very scary. While saving herself from this beast, she hit him on the head with a glass bottle, due to which the bed was covered in blood. But Uncle got up and took a knife in the fruit basket and stabbed her in the stomach. Uncle was holding his head and laughing on her, and Jimin's mother, who was taking her last breaths, just wanted to see her son one last time, but she was unable to move from her place. Jimmy ran to his uncle's house and saw his mother lying on the floor with a pool of blood around her and realized that he lost his mother. And then, having no one left for him to remain here in this cruelty, he ran out grabbing a lighter that belonged to his uncle, which had been left on the dinner table. Then he ran to the storeroom next to the house and took a can of oil and set the house on fire. In present, Jimin opened his eyes and sighed deeply. Jimin, I should not have come here. Now all my memories are fresh. But the sound of that bastard are still soothing to my ears, Jimin said, and recalling that moment. Jimin had set the whole house on fire, and while his uncle was banging on the door and trying to open it, he heard his voices until his uncle died in the fire. Jimin took revenge from his mother's killer, and then he ran away from there and came back here today. But he remembered everything, and then he smiled and walked to his car because now he had forgotten all those things, and grief of losing his mother was also reduced from his heart. And now that forest is his home, and whoever goes there is killed by him. After many years he wants someone more than love, and that is you, and now he wants to be with you in this lonely forest. But every time he remembers the accident with his mother, Jimin doesn't want to force you. Outside the studio in the car, Jimin is waiting for you to come out and take you back to the dark villa because he doesn't want you to go back there with anyone else. And after another 5 minutes, Jimin saw you coming out with a guy who looks really perfect and handsome in the suit. He widened his eyes, was staring at the two of you with bloodshot killer eyes. Minhyung put his hand on your waist, to which Jimin hit his hand on the car wheel. You both got into the car and left. Jimin knew you were going to the dark villa with that boy. Controlling himself, he pushed his hair back and drove to the hardware store in his car. Jimin, my tools are old and worn out now. I must buy myself tools that can tear my victims to pieces in one go, he said and smirked evil. Time skip at your dark villa. Why? I'm so tired. My hips are hurting from sitting in the car for 3 hours. Minhyuk was looking at this beautiful house when you said that. He looked at you with lustful eyes. Minhyuk, I can help you relieve your stress, he said, winked. Why? Minhyuk, you are always ready for sex. I'm so tired, please not today, you said and started to go to your bedroom, but Minhyuk picked you up on his shoulder and carried you into the room. Why? Minhyuk, put me down, you playfully slapped his back and giggled. But he was too serious about fucking you tonight. Outside the dark villa, Jimin angrily came to your house in the car and stopped the car at your door of your house. He was looking at Minhyuk and you in his step. He took out the sharp knife that he kept in the car and ran towards your room. In your room, Ryan. Haha, baby, please take it easy. We have all night, you said teasingly, and he ripped off your clothes and threw on the floor. Minhyuk, I can't, darling, he said in a husky voice, and kissed you on lips, then positioned himself to enter you. But Jimin stabbed him directly in the neck, due to which his blood splattered all around, and your whole body turned red with his blood. Your eyes were filled with blood. Ryan, Minhyuk, you barely called his name out of fear and pain. Jimin then grabbed Minhyuk by the hair and threw him off the bed and hit his head on the ground, causing Minhyuk to die. Then Jimin stood up and saw you lying on the bed, shocked, scared, and covered in blood. Then he hovered above you. You widened your eyes and about to scream, but he grabbed your hand and kissed you roughly. After 5 minutes later, he left your lips. Jimin, princess, you want to fuck. I will fulfill your needs. You begged away, but he grabbed your waist. He devilishly smirked like a full psychopath, and after said he removed his clothes and entered his member in you. Why? He was trusting you too hard. Then, with a few thrusts, he stopped and looked at you. Jimin, we will finish it at my house. We can't stay here for long. Then he placed the poisoned cloth over your nose. To be continued. Thank you for watching.